Is Rema forcing himself to become the big four? That is the question I really want to ask. Based on the last performance of Rema at the Madison Square Gardens in the US, that was really electrifying, interesting, and massive to an extent. And Rema actually shut down that 19,000 plus capacity arena in the US. So a lot of people are showing concern about all of this. Meanwhile, Rema did a performance of Hehehehe where he talked about being the big four, no longer big three. And now some people are showing concern based on the presentation of the performance. Remember that Rema performed before a kind of mannequin of Burna Boy, Davido, and Wizkid. That hehehehe. So now people are really looking at it from a different point of view. Is it that Rema actually kind of disrespected Wizkid, Davido, and Burna Boy? Let's look at this comment by Daniel Rega in really consonant to this. That is something I feel, or in disconsonant to this, or in response to this. Rema will never be in the same league as Davido, Wizkid, or Burna. What he did performing hehehe next to their mannequins isn't entertainment, but an act of subtle disrespect. His management should have known better. There is a thin line between admiration and mockery. When it comes to the conversation about the big three or even the top 10, he's not making such lists unless it's a list of new artists from his time slash era. No offense. Now, Danarega is talking about Rema is not in the same category as Davido, Burna, and Wizkid. And also went ahead to say, yes, that performance, before the mannequins of these guys is just like not be admiration, or it's just like a disrespect to them. That is what Danarega is saying. But I want your own opinion about this in the comment section so that we can really understand our own opinions. And also, he went further to say in top 10, when you talk about top 10 music artists in Nigeria, you should not talk about Rema unless you are talking about new artists from this era. This is actually heavy. This is really sensitive because looking at it from inception, talking about the Big Ten, it not go easy for Rema to make that list. That is something I got to understand. Let me give you a Big Ten of in the music industry. You should talk about the legendary Fela. After talking about Fela, you should talk about Sunny Ade. After talking about Sunny Ade, you should talk about the likes of Oliver them. So I don't want to actually mention some kind of names. Oliver the Coco. You should talk about Bryce Chimezie. You should talk about Two-Face Idibia. When you talk about Two-Face Idibia, you should also talk about a person of Davido. You should talk about Burna. You should talk about Wizkid. But I think Rema will not make it Big Ten in Nigeria. That is something I kind of understand because a lot of people, they've actually pioneered the music industry. The likes of Sonny Okosu, a lot of people, the likes of Oris Wiliki, we got Major Fashek. These guys should be called in. So you see that Rema may not actually make the list according to what Danerega is talking about. But Rema is a fantastic artist. I think he needs to focus on his craft rather than forcing people to believe that he is in the category of Wizkid, Davido, or Burna Boy, because it takes more than music to be in that category. That is something Rema needs to understand. These guys have been in that category for over 10 years. We have Davido talking about 13 years. We have Wizkid talking about 14 years. We got Burna Boy talking about 10, 11 years. That is something you got to understand. And these guys actually gave their sweat for this. These guys actually opened a lot of opportunities for this. I think Rema is a fantastic artist. He's getting a lot of global recognition out there, but he needs to focus on the craft rather than trying to prove himself as big for. We got the likes of Thames actually doing massively enough in the United States. She has written for the likes of Beyonce, the likes of Rihanna. She has gotten Oscar nomination, and you can really list much. She got a Grammy. That is also a big win. And then she has not come out to say she is in the same category as Burna Boy, Davido, and Wizkid. There's something Rema needs to understand about that. You cannot pitch your rivers against all these guys. So what is your own opinion about all of this? I want you to put your own opinion in the comment section so that we can have a take on what you feel so far. Before I jump off, I want to say thank you guys for watching our videos and thank you for the love so far. If you are new here, you can click the subscribe button below, the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos. I love you guys. Keep supporting Afrobeat blog.